AK Fiber Arts. Today we are going to spin the first blended bat that I made on my new double wide drum carder, and it was the well, actually it's the second bat I made, but the first blended bat that I made. This is the Coopworth 50/50 cross with a bunch of other amazing things, including Gotland, and I had all natural, and then I did just a little bit of the same fiber that I had dyed in oxblood with acid dyes, just to give that pink heathered look. When I did the video for the progressive bat, the light with the little bits of red in it, I loved it so much that I wanted to just make a whole bat of it. In fact, I could see making a whole sweater out of it. It would be amazing. So this whole thing came out to 3 ounces. This was the little bit that I had left over I couldn't fit on, so I just ran it through and made a little mini bat to go with it. But here is the bat, and we are going to get this spin. Look at this double wide. Isn't this crazy? I love it. So I'm gonna weigh this and divide it up into thirds, and then we'll get it on the wheel. I have gone ahead and divided my bat into thirds. And then this was that little mini bat. So basically this is called pre-drafting, and I'm just peeling strips off of this since it's already kind of split up anyways. And I'm going to start spinning. I don't have a wonderful plan in mind. I think I definitely want to 3-ply this. I know that. And I think I'm going to try to spin a worsted-ish weight yarn. And for this, it has a little bit of sproing to it. I'm probably wanting to spin around I'm probably going to try to spin between a 28 and a 32 single, and that should be good. We'll see how it goes here, see what it wants to be when I start spinning it. So when I say, let's see what it wants to be when I start spinning it, in the formal education for spinning, there's something called spinning with the crimp. And this is very crimpy. And depending on how wide the crimp is, this crimp is pretty fine. That is how thick the yarn likes to be. So if you have something that has a really wide crimp, spinning with the crimp is probably going to give you a much thicker yarn if you spin with the crimp. That's when, you know, it's hard to try to force a thick yarn that wants to be thick into a thin yarn. So this I think is going to want to be thin. So I'm going to shoot for the 3-ply worsted and a 28 to 32 single somewhere in there. Let's see what we got. And I still do the tried and true hot dog technique here. I just let the fiber catch on and then start to draw in. All right. So for this, I'm gonna do mostly a long draw, I think. That's what I did on the other one, and it worked really well when I spun that progressive bat. Quite settled in here yet. It's good for you to see the beginning part, because usually I don't start filming until I'm already underway and I've already got everything dialed mostly in. So what I'm doing here is just letting the twist collect here, and I'm drawing back some of my there we go. That's pretty good. Let's see if we like this. So this is right about a 28, well, it fits in the 32. So I think I'm right where I want to be, between that 28 and 32. Let's see what our twist looks like. Oh, this is so light and airy. Look at that. I could probably put a little more twist in. Let's see what it looks like. I'm not going to do anything other than add a little more twist and see what the difference is. So now you can see it's tighter, but it's still nice and fluffy and loose. It's not too tight, so I like that. I think that's going to be lovely, and we'll check back in with that periodically and make sure we're hitting the mark. I also may need to do some draw adjustments here. So far that was not too bad. I should show you the bobbin that I just crammed everything onto. It's really cool. I didn't video any of it, but it is the holiday art bat that I did on my Ashford drum carder. I think it was the last thing that I did on the Ashford before I got my new carder, and it turned out really awesome. So, you know, you don't need some fancy pants electric drum carder to be able to make wonderful bats. I just want to make wonderful bats and at a higher volume and lower demand from cranking so much. And being able to card the finer fibers too, which I couldn't do. The Ashford wasn't good with the fine fibers. If you remember, when I did this bat on the Ashford, when I did the progressive, I had a lot of neps. Oh, there it is. I think that's what we want right there. Look at that. I love it. Can you see that? I think that is wonderful. And obviously this is going to be 3-plied, so this is not what the 2-ply is going to be. I mean, that's not what it's going to look like in the final yarn, but I do like that. I could even maybe do just a teeny bit more twist. But the drum carder, when I was spinning from the one I did on the Ashford, you know, this had some Gotland in it, and it's a much finer fiber, and I had some neps and some tips that broke and stuff like that. So I started with this one. I was wondering if it was going to be a big problem, and it went through like butter. So clearly this carder is okay for fine fibers, even though it's still a 72 TPI. So I'm really excited about my options now. At first I was thinking I was going to sell my Ashford carder, but now I'm thinking I'm going to keep it, and if I want to do like the really chunky or bulkier art bats, you know, with like locks sticking off of them and stuff, that I will just use my Ashford for those. Although I'm working on doing textured bats, and you can do a textured bat with the Clemens & Clemens drum carder. It's just taken me a little more time to figure it out. So this is like spinning like butter, absolute, but look at that, oh my gosh. This is so beautiful. The prep, you know, and I did that picker pass too, which, you know, I was a little like, how can that even be a thing? But it totally worked, so. And that progressive bat that I did with these same locks, it was really beautiful yarn that I did. I was doing a lot of picking out of things as I went along, you know, neps and stuff, and I thought that it was my fiber prep, but it turns out, because I prepped, you know, this is all the stuff I did all together in one scour, that it was the carder. So this was just a little too fine of a fiber for the carder that I had at the time. I'm not really talking, whoops, I forget to advance my hooks. Oh, come here. I'm not really talking a lot about long draw because I have a whole really good video on this that I did when I actually spun the bat that was similar to this. This is the one, I don't know if you watched any of my dyeing videos, but I know they're very niche, but the ox blood was the one where when I was dyeing it, it looked like raw meat, and I was like, looking mighty meaty. So now the meatiness is completely gone. There's no remnant of meat, so that's good. Now it just looks like a pretty nice pink color. Exactly what I would like to see for this. Let's make sure I'm staying on task here. Let's see what we got. I do tend to get thin. Yeah, this is a little bit thinner because this is more like a 36. Yeah, see what I do? I get chatting and then I get thin. And you'll be able to see the difference here on this too. See how much thinner it is than the other one. So let's not stay in that neighborhood. Let's stay a little bit thicker here. Oh, lovely. Perfect. And that's the right amount of spin too, or the right amount of twist. Look at that. I love it. This is gonna be so fluffy when it's done. Alright, I'm going to keep on doing this and then we'll be back to 3-ply it. I've been doing a lot more with my e-spinner for chain plying. I've actually really liked it because the treadle part, the foot, speed is all, electric controlled. So it gives me a pretty consistent, I can get into a really good rhythm and I can go pretty fast now. So I don't dislike chain plying as much as I once did. Because I just thought it was too slow and it wasn't my favorite thing to do. But now, it's still not my favorite thing to do, but I actually like it and I've been doing a lot more of it. Here we have the bobbin check-in, and it's got just that kiss of heather pink in there. I love it. Everything's looking great, and I will see you back when it's time to apply these 3 singles together. We are ready to 3-ply. I am going to do this on my EEW6, and I have my little dial here set to S-ply, and we're going to see how much speed we need on this. I think it's gonna go really fast. I'm trying to do a little bit more plying on this, although I do love plying on my other wheel. But since I had this down here and it was set up, I figured let's do it. All right, so already I can see I need more draw. All right, so let's stop that. And then I'm gonna put my fingers through here. So you have one finger through each. Uh-oh, what's up, Finn? Oh, really? That's perfect timing, baby. And we are back. Literally, I just took Finn for a 1.5 mile walk. As soon as I got home from work, fed him dinner. I just sat down to start this and he barked to go out. And I let him outside and he's literally laying on the deck looking at me. So we'll see how long this lasts until he feels like he needs to come back in. So let's see. So what I was saying was I'm putting my fingers through each of these. And this one, when you have this natural yarn with this, it has a really nice halo to it. It's got, see how kind of it's fuzzier? That sometimes can catch back here and it'll stick together. Just a couple little fibers will stick together. So just be aware that that's something that can happen. And then you have to just kind of separate it by hand. Let's see how we're doing with this. My hope is we can go pretty quickly. I'm going to stop here a quick second and check this out. Make sure I'm not going too fast and getting too much twist in this. Yeah, that's a lot of twist. I think I probably need to slow this down a touch. Either that or increase the draw. Yeah, let's go like that. Yeah, I like that better. Just take some of the twist out. That's the nice thing about plying. I can just basically just run my finger along here and let the twist kind of go back a little further up in my hand. There we go. I like that a little better. That looks nice and soft and lovely. That distributing the twist trick does not work with singles. You can't just run your finger down and have the twist get less and redistribute it. That only works when you ply, because when you are doing your single, you literally have to take your entire roving and untwist it. Spinning from the fold, it's kind of easy to do, but if you're doing spinning from a braid and you're just going one big long line, it's not going to work unless you break it. Well, I can see this is going to be fast, except I need to advance this so quickly. If I had the auto level winder for this, it would be awesome. Let's see. I'm just going to take a quick check here of our ply angle. And we are in the S direction, so I'm looking in the S side here. And right now we are We're very close. Let's see if I can find a better place to measure this. Easier to see. When it's all one color, it's a little bit harder for me to see with my eyes are not quite as sharp as they once were. Yeah, I think we're very close to 30, so I like it. I'm gonna maybe do a little less twist, which means I just need to either increase my draw or decrease my speed. So I think I'm gonna increase my draw just a touch. Although now this looks quite nice. So let's see. Oh, and right on cue, there's Finn wanting to come back in. We'll see if he'll hang for a few more minutes. So you're keeping your tension parallel, on your yarns parallel and your tension equal on them. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully I'm on frame here. I've thought about getting the auto level winder for this, but honestly it costs as much as this entire spinner. So, you know, it's hard for me to justify it, even though I'm sure that it's amazing. So I am participating in an online group with Fairly Fiber Fun. I'm not sure what that clicking sound is. I'm having difficulty isolating it. It's coming from the flyer, but it might just be that it's out of balance a little bit because it's spinning so fast and I have the draw so tight. I bet if I turn the draw down, it stops. Does it stop? Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, you can't. That's the one thing that I forget about with the e-spinner. You have to stop the pedal when you are plying because it'll twist up really fast and all of a sudden you'll have some super over twisted ply. Alrighty, I think we are in business here. I'm just gonna keep on doing this. I do have that little quickie sound. I'm gonna have to take a closer look and try to figure that one out. I do think it's that orifice reducer though. I think it's a little loose and it might be rattling in there a little bit. But it's working, so we're just gonna live with it for now. I am going to continue on doing this and I'll see you guys back here for my favorite part when I get this on the nitty knotty. It is time for my favorite part. I'm trying a new light ring, so hopefully this is going to be in clear and natural color. So let's see what we got. So 3-ply, Coopworth 50/50 cross with some ox blood, very lightly dyed pink little flecks through here. And let's see what we get. Ah, it's so pretty. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is the last several yards I chain plied because I ran out and I had one little bit left over, so I wasn't quite even. I was pretty close though. So let me bring this in so you guys can see it. That looked good. So let's get this in for a soak. And it's really soft and airy. And we'll see if we got our worsted weight. I think we're looking good. I think I'm pretty much there. And while I was talking to you all, Finn jumped up on the couch. Be right back. Good boy. Here we have our final yarn, 3-plied. I love it. It is so consistent and it's really, really light and airy. So it looks like it's a little bit thicker than a worsted weight, but I really don't think it's gonna be when you knit with it because it is so, so soft and fluffy. And I'm gonna add this to the ones that I already have and I think I'll have enough to do like a really nice project with some color work in it. I think it'll be really cool. So here, I ran up and got my other yarn because I thought it would look cool to see the difference. I think this is going to make a great project, so I'll have these 3 colors. This is the same yarn as this, the natural. It looks a little bit browner, but that's because I think my percentage is a little higher. In here, I barely had any. It was probably less than 5%, 1%. This is probably around 7 to 10%, I think was my calculation. So it has a pinker hue to it. But as a progressive, this will look super awesome. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. And then this one was the one that I spun as the progressive spin. And it looks really cool. So I think that this is gonna make a wonderful project. I'm excited. And they're all the same weight, which is also nice. This was chain plied. This is 3 plied, what we just did today. This is also chain plied. So, but they all came out to be the same weight, like that. And they're all kind of a, heavy worsted to a light Aran weight. This one, the way I prepped it was on the new Clemis and Clemis drum Carter, and there's a difference. There's definitely a difference. This one is so much softer. This one is still soft, but this one is way better. And it was easier to spin with less neps because my Ashford drum Carter it had a few neps in it with the Ashford drum Carter. That's all. Because the fiber was a little bit more fine than the Carter was able to do well with for raw processing. So here we have it. I am going to leave you with, I guess, just this one, because this is the money shot here. And I will see you guys next time. I think I'm not sure what we're gonna do next time. We'll have to see. But here, probably some more drum carding, because that's what I'm doing right now. There you go. I will see you all next time. Until then, spin happy.